All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the podcast. What's the odds with Steve Rannazzisi? It's January 28th, 2021, and I am joined by my good buddies Lucas Hurl and Bretton Biddlecombe. We got the Bills, we got the Bachelor, we've got the Hall of Fame, Curt Schilling, the Mets, the Yankees, the Knicks, everything. But apparently Bretton's had a pretty strange day, so I'll let you kick things off, Bretton. What's gone on in your world? Tell me.
You've been following the GameStop saga, right, Steve?
Fill me in on this, because this is I got a little bit on the nightly news last night. It was sort of my brother thought he had COVID, so it was a crazy night. He doesn't have COVID, thank goodness. So, but it was nuts. So anyway, I guess Elon Musk did he invent something, and then that's people went crazy at GameStop? How did it work out? What's going on?
No, dude, so this guy. No, I don't really know who he is. Some Reddit user. He had $50,000, so he decided to gamble against the hedge fund billionaires. Basically, who've been shorting GameStop, and you know about shorting a stock, right? Basically,
yeah. I'm not a dunce. Yeah. You bet against the stack.
I'm just making sure.
But for everybody else, let's explain it to them, okay? You buy something that you think is going to go low. You're borrowing the money to buy the stock so that when it goes low, you can sell the extra back to the person, and that's why.
And make a profit.
Yes, but if it goes up, you then have to pay the difference, and you lose money. So that's what was going on, I assume, shorting.
Yeah. So these hedge funds were shorting GameStop significantly, and this was around the time it was trading, I think, just under $15. And so these Redditors, they figured out, hey, they're shorting this company, and what if we were to pool all this money together and get people to start buying this stock like crazy and raise it through the roof? Not only would we profit from the stock just going up, because literally millions of us are buying it, but it's going to fuck over these billionaires, and they're going to have to cover the cost of this. So they started doing it. January 12th, I think, was when it really took off on Reddit and went viral. And this guy, he still hasn't taken his money out. Like, I'm looking at his account. He lost $14 million today when they tried to shut it down, but he's made like 17 million. He was up 33 million yesterday.
Wait a minute. Okay. So okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Finish.
This was just a bunch of people coming together and going, hey, we can fuck over these billionaires if we all buy this stock that they're saying is going to go down, because if we buy it and we hold it and we hold on to it for a little while, it's going to go up, and they're fucked, and we're going to get rich. And who
leaked the Gordon Gekko news to these Reddit people?
They just figured it out. I don't know.
Because think about it. It's Anaconda likes Blue Steel. Anaconda,
they're playing the game. They're playing the Wall Street game, and they're beating them. And then what happened this morning? Because listen,
hold on, Brenton. Have you seen Wall Street?
I haven't seen the original.
What?
Shia LaBeouf. I've seen the Shia LaBeouf.
So when I say to you, Anaconda loves Blue Steel, or whatever that, about Blue Steel. Okay, so basically, what happened is that Gordon Gekko is a big fucking hedge fund guy, right? Billionaire, and he finds out one of his competitors wants to buy a stock. So basically, he's doing the exact same thing. He has who's AIDS boy from Two Men and a Baby, Charlie Sheen. He has him leak it to the Wall Street Journal, and basically like Anaconda loves Blue Steel, means like everyone loves blue, like this stock that this guy's going after, raises the price up. And that's what happened. The guy came over. He's like, enough's enough.
They were doing the opposite. They had YouTube videos they were putting out. They were putting out articles in the Wall Street Journal, Money Market, like all that. They were paying for ads, basically saying GameStop is done. They're going to go under, trying to drive down the price even more. And these Reddit people saw that, figured it out, and said, let's fuck these guys and make a shitload of money at the same time. And 5 million subscribers to that thread later, people are buying it like crazy. And this morning, I woke up at 5 a.m. I won some money doing basketball DFS last night. I was like, you know what? I'm going to stand with these guys against the man. I'm going to throw $500 down. I put in my order, and Robinhood locked everybody out. You can't buy right now. You can't buy GameStop. You can't buy AMC. They were doing it to Bed Bath & Beyond, BlackBerry, Build-A-Bear, Nokia. all these different stocks. They locked you out of like 8 different stocks that were on the rise. This clothing brand Naked that was like trading for like 2 cents went up to $3 yesterday, and they locked us all out. And then people do a little research and realize, oh, Citadel, one of these hedge fund billionaire companies, owns Robinhood, and they shut this shit down because they were losing billions of dollars by shorting this thing. So now there's lawsuits. People are saying this is market manipulation. It's bringing the country together like we never would have thought would have happened. AOC and Ted Cruz and Donald Trump Jr. and El Presidente, they're all tweeting like the same thing. We agree that this is bullshit and this has to change. And it's like mind-blowing and incredible. This is the greatest thing. Last week sucked. This has been amazing to watch.
Wow. How much money have you made so far?
I couldn't invest anything. They
Zero.
locked me out.
So
Zero.
you have all this just euphoria.
This is just exciting
for something that
This
affects you in no way
this is
whatsoever.
Better. No, this affects us because this could change the game. This is like the
Do you
best
understand,
analogy I
Brenton?
read.
Brenton, it's not going to change the game. They figured out the game was fucked, and the people that made the game
they'll
stopped
make the
playing the
rules
game,
they'll
and I will
change it
fix
up.
the rules till the rules are the way I
yeah.
want them to be. It's like a casino when they found out someone's fucking, counting cards or something highly intelligent but also illegal in their mind. They're going to bust it up, and they're going to make sure this never happens again. They'll shut down Reddit, dude.
They're going to try to.
I understand where you're coming from. You want to feel good about something, especially after the weekend you had. I get that. That's a feeling I understand. But I think you're wrong about this changing the system. I'm glad people are making money. I'm glad people found loopholes. I'm always into a loophole. The same people that did the whole, not the McDonald's, the people that stole, but whoever it was that was like, some MIT group found out like some lottery had like they kept coming up with the same numbers and they just figured it out and they were making money on it. I don't give a fuck. If you can figure out an angle that's legal, go for it. Take it. I'm happy. But if you think it's going to be something that's going to shut down Wall Street or the way hedge funds do business,
it's not going to shut down Wall Street. It's going to send some people to jail though.
Maybe. Not the people that should be going to jail. Trust me. Anyone that is supposed, the hedge fund guy or the main person at the top that said, shut it down, I want the whole thing shut down. That person's never going to jail, Brenton. They didn't go to jail when they collapsed our entire economy in 2008 and 9. Nobody, like 2 people went to jail. Nobody's going to jail. Trust me. But it is nice that we now have a venue instead of Anacott loves blue steel, tell it to the Wall Street Journal and let's hope the word gets out. Reddit is even bigger, and it's great. The force is out there. People are, but it's definitely not going to change anything. So
this will keep happening. They're gonna. Hopefully, this ends the options trading and the shorting, which is bullshit.
Hold on. Am I? There we go. Okay. I thought for a second we don't have Emma again, as you can obviously tell.
I mean,
I'm doing this all on my own.
You know what it is right now? Literally. It's like tomorrow, if you go on Reddit and you go on this thread and they're like, hey, today we're buying this, and all those people throw in $100, you're going to make money. So they're going to have to figure out a lot of ways to stop this, because the stock market's basically fucked if that's the way that the market's going to be driven. Is just people on a whim going, hey, this stock's only 45 cents. Let's make it $3.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying.
This is exciting. This is fun. It's fun to watch. It's fun to watch billionaires panic.
Why? Because they now have to get on Reddit. They don't get to control it anymore. Whoever the people decide that they want to prop up that day, whether it be GameStop or whatever the other, corporation they feel like do it, they'll pop that one up. But it's for a day, and then all you got to know is that. I mean, they can still make money because they'll just short it when they see the fever dying down for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not going to – I'm glad people are getting together and pooling their money and trying to invest in the stock market. I'll just say this. It's one of the few smart things I did a long time ago is I put a lot of money in the stock market, and it's worked out. Again, a lot of people don't have money to put in the stock market. They're living paycheck to paycheck. I understand that. But if you do have some, throw it in there. especially in those Robinhood accounts where they'll pull it together and get 2 or 3. You get a couple shares of this.
Don't do Robinhood. Find something else. Find an alternative. Fuck them.
Because of this, now you're saying that because they shut it down.
Because they're locking people out on certain stocks and they're
whatever it is, whichever
don't support that. Use something else.
Whatever the outlet you want to pool your money with, it's a good idea, and I'm not saying it's not a good idea. I just don't think we 20, 30, 50, 60 years into this whole stock market boom, we're now going to figure out a new way for everyone to make money. There's only going to be a certain amount of people that make money. The people at the top, the hedge fund guys, they're going to make the most fucking money. And then hopefully the corporations you believe in will continue to grow, and whatever you have in there, they'll slowly grow with those corporations. But I don't know. I don't think the everyman's going to get rich quickly in the stock market tomorrow. That's my 2 cents. I don't know.
No, that makes sense. It's just, I think this puts a little more power back with the people versus just the handful of guys at the top.
I understand why you're searching for something to believe in. I get that, Brendan. You understand. I mean,
you got to be an optimist, Steve.
You have to be an optimist.
We're going to win it all next year. We're all 3 going to be millionaires.
If by we were going to win it all, I assume you mean yourself and the Buffalo Bills, correct? I don't know what I'm winning. What does that say? One
before I die.
Is that a brand new Buffalo Bills shirt?
No, I've had it for a long time.
Oh, guys, I truly am sorry. I mean, look, it wasn't your best day. It wasn't your best foot forward. No. Did I call it?
You did.
Yeah, I did. Did I think Josh Allen was going to play as poorly as he did? No, I thought he'd play a little bit better. I don't think he played poorly. I just don't think he played as well as he wanted to.
No, but I will say this. I don't believe he turned the ball over. He
had one interception.
He had one pick. Yeah.
Okay. So, but compared to last year, it's still an improvement.
Yeah. I mean, the sacks going backwards and that stuff still happens a lot, but I watched it and I mean, look, you guys, I think I figured out with great athleticism and great talent and great belief in oneself also comes tremendous loss sometimes. And when you have a cannon, the way he has a fucking cannon, even when you are off balance, even when you're moving backwards, I still believe that he thinks he can get the ball forward to where he wants to the receiver. So that's why he holds on to the ball for as long as he does, falling backwards. I mean, even that one play where he was literally falling out of bounds and he flicked it over the fucking receiver and the defender in the end zone. Sidearm 45 yards. That was ridiculous. And that was an example of him holding the ball. He barely got out of bounds. He almost stepped out before, but I think those plays he has to learn to eliminate, the going backwards, because they could cost him. And tightening up just some defensive stuff. But other than that, I mean, look, I think you guys took a huge step forward, like I told you in the text message. And I think that you are the team to beat next year, as long as Kansas City doesn't win it again.
They need to establish they don't need to become a balanced offense. They can still throw the ball, but they have to establish that they can run the ball if they're going to beat Kansas City. Because all Kansas City or anybody next year is going to do is they're just going to open and nickel and dime on first and second down, and you got to be able to counter. So they need to get a running back. They need to run more draw plays. They got to take pressure off Josh Allen in the line because they were just pass blitzing the whole game.
Well, if there's something to come out tomorrow, good news. Mel Kiper Jr. Has Najee Harris heading to you guys in the 31st pick or 30th, whatever you guys fall into.
Yeah. I think 30th. Yeah.
And let me tell you something. I'd say, I think he's the best running back in the draft, and I think you will be happy. That could be. I'm not saying he's going to be homeboy in Nashville, but he could. I mean, he could be a 1,500 yard running back every year, and that's what you need. That's what's missing.
Yeah.
Someone that that you can hand the ball to on first or second down, get 2 or 3, 4 or 5, maybe break one off every once in a while, but advance the ball so you're not just you're not play actioning, even though everyone knows you're going to step back and pass. He's got a great arm. I don't think you want him throwing the ball 50 times a game.
No. And we wouldn't need to if we can establish the run.
And I think he did. He tried to.
They really did. Yeah.
McDermott tried to, but I think it wasn't working. That was the problem.
Singletary's more of a, relief guy. And that's why you saw so much of TJ Yeldon, even though he's terrible. And that mainly is because Zach Moss was hurt. If Zach Moss was healthy, maybe it's a little bit closer of a game, but they need that. And the Chiefs are terrible against the run. That's why it scares me that the Bucks can run the ball and they have a really good offensive line. I don't want to see Tom Brady win again.
No, we can't. We can't even talk about it yet. We have to wait till next week because I can't yet. I can't swallow it. But I can't.
I will say, I was proud of them. I was proud that they stuck up for Josh when he took that extra little hit after the whistle was blown and he threw the football at the guy and the guy came back at him. I was proud that the team stood up.
Well, look, at first in real time, it looked like a shitty play by the defense. I was like, I'm like, this chirpiness, like they're gonna blow the game, Kansas City but I didn't realize Josh Allen threw the ball at him.
Yeah,
that was so that was, and look, that again, that's a mental sort of fuck. I'm pissed off. I know I should be doing better right now. Sort of mistake.
Game was already out of hand.
Yeah, and I don't mind the chirpiness back and forth. It sort of lends itself to what will be a great game next year, which all three of us said right away. It's got to be the opening night, Monday night. The first night of football. Assuming that, I don't even think Kansas City has to win the Super Bowl. I think even if they lose, it's still going to be.
Yeah.
Because look, I don't know if Tom Brady retires. Let's not even get into it. But I don't think people would be excited to see maybe a Tom Brady Aaron Rodgers matchup. Rematch. I don't think that anyone. I don't know. I'd rather see Kansas City and Buffalo. That's a game I'd rather be interested in. But speaking of the Packers, I almost called everything this weekend. We got the overs on both games. I unfortunately got what I thought was going to be correct in the Kansas City Buffalo game. And then if Flores doesn't fuck me, then I'm me and Aaron Rodgers are heading to the Super Bowl, and Lucas has got fucking money in his hands.
Two sides to that coin. Sides to that coin.
Great. Let's hear. I'd like to hear you. I know there are two sides, and I've heard some arguments on both. And I'm. What side are you going to take? Because I'd like to hear it. Go ahead.
LaFleur blew that game.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, Aaron Rodgers, who's supposed to be the MVP of the league, 2 different times in that game had it first and goal, and 3 straight plays failed to get it into the end zone because he was just looking at Devontae Adams, throwing into double coverage. And that last drive, 2nd and 3rd down, the entire right side of the field is wide open. He could have taken off running. Maybe he doesn't score, but 2nd down, he gets down to the 2-3 yard line. Now you just pound it in with A.J. Dillon. Ball game. So LaFleur should never have kicked that field goal. It was a terrible call. He made a huge coaching mistake. But the fact of the matter is, Aaron Rodgers failed to do his job, and it falls on the quarterback. You had 3 straight plays to score. You didn't do it.
Everyone, there is an argument to be made. Yes, you are right. I do believe that Aaron Rodgers. Okay.
What happened? So that first drive, where they had to settle for a field goal.
Mm-hmm.
1st and goal, 3 straight plays to Adams. They kicked the field goal. 3rd drive, same thing. They kicked the field goal, or the 3rd time it happened, they kicked the field goal. They lose the game because that was a terrible call to kick the field goal instead of going for it on 4th down. But there was a 2nd time they were 1st and goal to go, and he threw an incomplete pass to Adams, and then they scored a touchdown because he finally looked away from him, and Tunyon's wide open in the end zone. So all you got to do is use the players on the field. I know he doesn't trust him as much because he didn't have much because they didn't draft anything for him. But the fact of the matter is, he made poor decisions and didn't use other reads and just was locked in on a guy who's been shut down by the Bucks earlier in the year and then that entire game. Using your own point against you,
when he looked on, I believe the first or second down play to Lazard, who was wide open, didn't even look at the Rodgers or where the ball was. Now, again, I don't know if that's miscommunication, but to me, it's like there can't be. And it looked like fucking Aaron Rodgers knew what the hell he was doing. And it looked like Lazard was heading in the direction he was supposed to, whether he, so yeah, okay. I don't remember exactly what down it was, but first down, you run the play that the coach wants you to run. Second down, it's like, I'm going to try to go to the guy that I want to go to, that I trust the most, right? Mm-hmm. And then if I have to throw it to someone else, I'll try, and I did, and it didn't work. So now it's like I'm going to continue to do what I want to do. I'm the best player on this field. And look, again, I'm not saying he would not have been at fault, Aaron Rodgers, and isn't partially at fault. But in his mind, in my mind, in probably 85 to 95% of the fan out there watching, it was 4-down territory.
Yeah.
So again, if I'm Brian Flores, I'm telling him on second, after I don't complete the second down, hey, just so you know, I'm kicking the field goal if you don't get the third down, if we don't get this here. Okay, so we're on the same page. You call whatever play you want, but I'm kicking a field goal. Or if you're Brian Flores, you see what's happened. You go, you know what? Look, I know what my gut tells me to do. I know what analytics tells me to do, but I'm looking right now at the best player. He is a better player than I am a coach. And I think anyone on the field would have said that, whoever, Flores, who is this, what's this fucking guy's name? LaFleur. He will not argue the fact that Aaron Rodgers is a better quarterback than he is a coach. So what I would do I'm going to put my faith, my equity into the hands of the better person to deal with the situation in that moment. So look, you could, if you handed him the fourth down and said, go run it, if he doesn't get it, then if you want to take some heat off him, I should have kicked the field goal. I should have told him I wasn't going to go for it on fourth down. You could always walk it back and take some more blame, but at least you've put it all onto the person that would want the ball. And I believe if Aaron Rodgers doesn't come up with it on fourth down, as long as it's not a penalty or someone fucked up again, I think he would have taken the blame. He would have said, look, I had 4 shots at it. What am I going to do?
Based on his post-game stuff, I don't think he's willing to take the blame for anything.
Because I believe he thinks he got the ball taken out of his hands. And just I
think he's an asshole. That's
the goddamn Packers
want to be around him. A few years ago, he threw Devontae Adams under the bus. This is what he does. The guy, he's not a good person to be around. He's the difference between him and Tom Brady. The players don't love him like players love Tom Brady. Okay, but here's the deal. You don't have to he's the best quarterback in the NFL. All right? He's the best. Okay. He's the top 3 quarterbacks in the NFL. Top 3. Yeah.
If you were a football player and you wanted to get drafted, one of the 3 teams, if you were a receiver or someone on the offensive side, you'd want to play with one of the top 3 guys. So anyway, my point is this, okay? And he has given everything to that organization. He sat behind Brett Favre for 2 or 3 years when he probably knew he was better than Brett Favre, but didn't say anything, quietly kept pace, learned a lot, and then took the role and did that. And then the Packers, year after year, have quietly figured out a way, even though he's produced every single year, to silently fuck him, like drafting a quarterback in the first round this year. Okay, so that's the first bad taste in my mouth at the beginning of the year. And the last bad taste is, and the reason why I think the press conference is the press conference, because you took the ball out of his hands. Mm-hmm. You didn't let him go for what he wanted to do. If he doesn't get it, who gives a fuck if you lose by 5 points or 8 points? You still lost the fucking game. It doesn't matter. You didn't give the best player an opportunity to win the game so that you could lose by 5 points instead of 8 points. Congratulations. That's the decision it ended up being. So I understand why he has a bad taste in his mouth at the end of the game. I'm sure he'll come back and they'll have a fucking talk and we'll figure out. I mean, they better incorporate him into their draft, situation. It's got to be someone for fucking Aaron Rodgers this year. It's got to be someone for him, not someone that you're going, hey, this is the new you. It's got to be someone that you go, okay, great. We're all on the same goddamn page. Here's a whatever I need, a fucking, a great I don't know, maybe a tight end, a great tight end, someone that I don't have to look. I could look off Devonta once in a while and find someone in the middle in the slot. Great, a slot receiver, somebody else, someone to help me make this team better. Because you're not going to make Aaron Rodgers any better. He's not getting any better. He's as good as he's going to get. You're not going to motivate him. So what I'm saying is, if I'm a Packers fan and I want to see that team get better, everybody get on the same page. This guy's our fucking quarterback. Give him the ball when he wants the ball. Let him do what he wants to do. See what happens. Bruce Arians lets fucking Tom Brady coach. And he's a better coach than he is a quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's a better. Tom Brady coached his team to the Super Bowl. He coached a version. It's like Trent Dilfer was an unbelievable coach.
He could not have played worse in the second half if he tried to.
I get it. And hold on, just to wrap up my point, I think if you asked Aaron Rodgers, could he have played better? Would he have played better? Yes, of course he would have. But I think the whole thing comes down to, you got to give the best player on your team an opportunity to make a score when you have an opportunity. You're not getting any closer. And if you don't believe in Tom Brady, which is sort of like a dig, like I believe in our defense can stop Tom Brady. Well, if they don't get it, you're on the 8-yard line. Stop them there. You can get the ball back on the 50, and you give your best player another fucking opportunity to get down the field. It made no sense. It was I understand I'm playing to win the game, but you cannot play to win when you're not even tied. You know what I'm saying? You can't play to win unless you get you're going to tie the fucking game, and that's my point. And so we can move on.
I agree. LaFleur's problem number one. That was more like a 1B.
Yes, yeah. And again, Aaron Rodgers to me is still, when I watch him play, there very little diminished from when he was at the top of it, 5-10% at the most.
The only difference is I think Aaron Rodgers a few years ago would have taken off and run.
Probably, yeah. Probably. But you know what? I mean, even if you look at that play, and there's two defenders on, I believe it was a Devonta Smith right at the bottom. So one of them's going to peel off as soon as he starts heading to the. Now, look, could you have done Josh Allen could have do a thing where you get right to the thing, you fake the throw across, so you get that guy to stop, and then you just fucking beeline for that pylon as fast as you can. Look, I'm an athlete. I know how to make these moves up, okay? But 10 years ago, 5 years ago, Aaron Rodgers probably would have done that. But now he's like, look, that guy's going to come off and I'm going to get smashed. And
Yeah, but you're going to the Super Bowl.
I get it.
Your head down.
I get it.
John
But I'm thinking, he's thinking, look, instead of getting smashed on the 5-yard line, I'm going to stay on the 8-yard line and go for it on 4th down. Wait, what the fuck? Field goal.
Yeah.
That's my point.
Yeah.
So,
but sorry, we can move on.
Yeah, but here we go. So now Tom Brady coaches his team essentially to the Super Bowl now. He didn't first half. I mean, those passes, they look like like when he fucking just lobs in there. Those are touch passes, Brenton. That's him going, you know what? I'm not going to get a defender involved in this. Do you know if he throws the ball where two people can go up and get it, if you throw it high and over, then only your guy's going to get it. It's either going to drop or your guy's going to get it. And he had the touch, dude. He was dropping them in there.
It's not going to work. It's not going to work against the Chiefs. And they know that play at the end of the first half, first of all, King was questionable. He was like a game time decision. He made the wrong decision. He shouldn't have played because he played awful. Last play of the half, you don't let a guy run by you. And the pass that Tom Brady threw up that was just to a spot, that was like what you do in high school or in the backyard. Where you just run, and I'm just going to try to throw it as hard as I can.
Well, guess what? He's 43 and it still works, against the NFL players he's playing against. Guys that are 20 years old. All right? Number one. I
give him props.
Number two. Do you know how many okay, hold on. Number two, to defeat your second point. Do you know how many NFL quarterbacks on the first shot would miss that fucking wide open play to end the first half? Do you know how many guys' eyes would light up? Would go, holy shit, and fucking launch it up there or throw it short or couldn't believe it's too good to be true feeling and get all fucking JoJo Circus idiot? You know how many guys? Probably 4 or 5 guys would have laid that fucking ball in there as perfectly as he did in that moment. And in those moments, those are the guys you want. Those are the guys that you go, I've seen this before. I've seen people make mistakes in big situations because I've been in every big game before. And here I go. This is what I do. I make people pay. I don't necessarily have to win the game, but when you fuck up, I'm not going to. And so it's throws like that say to me, he doesn't necessarily have to win the Super Bowl or win the game or even win the NFC Championship. All he has to do is play well enough to not lose it and use his brain to go, okay, this is what I have to do. Here's what you have to do, by the way. Here's what you have to do. Make sure you stay in bounds over here. Make sure you do this. You know what I'm saying? All these guys making the right decisions at the end of the game. They're going to try to chirp you into a 15-yard personal foul. Don't get into it. All the things that you want out of a leader, coach, that's what it's tangible at this point. It's like it's a skill that no one thought the quarterback would ever need. You need a big athletic guy who's got a half a brain, who knows when to throw the ball and when not to throw the ball. He took it to a whole nother level. I'm going to be big. I'm going to be tall. I'm going to be athletic. I'm also going to know when to throw it, when not to throw it, and also who to throw it to, who's down, who's fucking in the middle of a divorce and is down on their luck and needs a little pep. I'm going to throw him the ball. All the intangibles. Every single one of them. And we can sit there and go, he's got a noodle arm. But whatever he's lacking physically, it's unbelievable how he's making up for it mentally. It's remarkable to see. It truly is. And look, part of it's like when you have a guy like Tom Brady, going back to your point before about Aaron Rodgers, that people want to play with, that he goes, hey, I'm going to not only be your quarterback, I'm going to be your GM as well. I'm going to go get Gronkowski. I'm going to go get fucking Antonio Brown and keep his head screwed on right and get 35 catches and a couple hundred yards out of him. I'm going to go make Mike Evans a better, competitor. I'm going to say good things about Chris Godwin in the paper, so his fucking confidence is lifted. He's got the best hands in the NFL. No, he doesn't. But if you make him believe he does, guess what?
Bad drops.
Yes, I know. But Tom Brady will, for the next 2 weeks, tell everyone how he has the best hands in the NFL. I've seen him catch passes no one else can. And Chris Godwin's going to go, holy shit, I'm putting that game behind me. This guy still believes in me. And then what do you think's going to happen? I'm just saying, mentally, his mind is so much more of a competitor than you can even imagine. He's not only competing against you as your opponent, he's competing against you by making his teammates believe they're way better than they are. And there's no stopping that. There's no stopping that. There's no stopping someone coming in that feels that they're confident about what they're doing and that their team believes in them. It's tough. It's tough to beat, but
it's been impressive. And I have to admit, I was down on him, obviously, and still think physically he's not a good player, but I was wrong about how far I thought he could take the team. And they're going to the Super Bowl because basically he willed that team to play better, because he certainly didn't. Anyone who says that he had a great game and watched the second half is lying to themselves and buying into the hype that he's just always going to be the best player on the field, because but he held on. He was the smartest player on the field.
Yep.
And that call at the end of the game, definitely pretty favorable to him.
Yep.
Because it was called incorrectly.
Which one? You're talking about the
pass interference. It makes you think, because the whole game they're letting the boys play, and like in the first half at the end, Lazard got turned, should have been a hold or a pass interference.
Yeah, there were a couple of those. Yeah.
So that happens to the Packers side a few times. The problem I have with the pass interference call at the end of the game was, who was it who went out for the pass at the end? Was it Johnson, I think, for the Bucks?
Yes.
Yeah. So his jersey's grabbed, right?
Yeah.
His jersey's grabbed. It slows him down a step. Ball gets overthrown. We wait 4 or 5 seconds. Flag comes out late. They call pass interference. The problem is that's not pass interference. That's holding. And if it is holding, you got to throw that flag right away.
As soon as you see the jersey get pulled.
Over.
Yeah.
Exactly. What I had a problem with was it was incorrectly called, and it felt like it was a call that was made due to the reaction and the emotion that was on the field. It was a blown call. It shouldn't have been pass interference. And also, if they were consistent with how they called the entire game, Packers should have had one more shot with like 30 seconds.
Maybe.
They still would have lost the game, but I just, the NFL lost a lot of money this year, and I know they're very, very excited to have Mahomes and Brady playing in the Super Bowl, and that makes them probably the most money of any of the matchups they could have hoped for. So I don't want to say that there was any kind of, hey, give them a couple extra, but I mean, just the way that the game was called up until that point, and then that play was so incorrectly called by the refs, it makes me think. As a Tom Brady hater, it makes me think. Well, I'm super biased, but it makes me think.
I don't think it was a call for Tom Brady. I don't think if it was a wrong call, it was a wrong call, but I don't think it had anything to do with Tom Brady being the quarterback. I just think that, they played well enough to win, and they took the ball out of the best player's hands, and then the refs made a questionable call at the end, which, always seems to come down to one, but it really, in this situation, I don't think really made a difference in the game completely.
But it was a great game. The Packers looked like they were really down and out, and they made it a ball game. So it was, it was a lot of fun.
We'll cover everything Super Bowl next week in our big Super Bowl episode. We'll do some prop bets and all the other shit, but yeah.
Let me ask real quick your opinion on McDermott's decisions to go for the field goals instead of the touchdowns. I mean, it's not quite as bad as LaFleur's. I understand where he was coming from.
I'm trying to think of the different times. So I'm trying to go back in my mind. You're talking first quarter.
We were in the red zone 6 times. We scored 1 touchdown. We kicked 4 field goals, I believe, and then had an interception.
So were there a lot? I mean,
times.
I'd have to remember specifically, I'm thinking
before the first half, and then there was another instance in the second half.
I'm thinking where
they had a 4th down.
If you're within 10, which they pretty much were around most of the time, you're like, all right, I just want to put points on the board, stay close. But then when things start, that's the first half mentality. I think when things start to get away from you, you got to stretch it out a little bit. And you got to make a judgment call as a coach where you say, like, I'm probably to get blasted for this if we don't get this first down here. But because I'm probably going to hand the ball to Kansas City on the 35, 40, 50 yard line. It's like I'm giving Patrick Mahomes half a field. So that's not a good position to put my team in. But yeah, it does come to a point where you got to you have to say to yourself, do I want to lose by 30 or 8, or 3? It's like, what I'm saying? It's like there comes a point where you're like, hey, I'm going to lose if I don't start getting aggressive. And whether, it doesn't matter if I lose by 40 or I lose by 1, I'm still going to lose. So I've got to start pressing the gas and getting down on it. So yeah, probably. But I thought for the most part, they couldn't run the ball. And I think that was the difference. If they had a more balanced back and forth, you would have had a better opportunity to have more faith in it's like you're talking about third down plays, I assume, Lucas, right? Where, you got the defense saying, I know they're throwing the ball. Yeah. If it's third and more than 1, I know they're throwing the ball. So it's almost like when you have an offense that is, you're lopping out one half of it. It's tough to go on 4th down when you're like, fuck, they know I'm throwing it. So it's got to be a trickery, or everyone's got to really, do exactly what they're supposed to do. And, or do I just put points on the board?
Bottom line is Bills aren't going to win that game until Josh Allen's not the rushing leader for the team. They need somebody else.
Yeah.
It can't just all be on him.
Yep. I agree with you.
And kudos to Cole Beasley for being the toughest motherfucker in football right now.
Oh my God. I won't even say what I thought you just meant. Cole Beasley, I immediately thought white guy, curly hair. And I thought you were saying shout out to the guy on the fucking Seahawks as being the toughest guy in the league. I was like, what a segue to make, Brenton. He went mental and abused. I was like, oh my God. But no, you're right. Different people, different situations.
Different people. Same haircut, different people.
Very different situation. Let's get into what do you want to get into next? I'll give you guys do you want to, oh, by the way, let's do this first before people freak out. Thank you to, again, people that listen or watch and they comment. I had actually a very lovely comment. Someone said this week that I have a very lovely voice and she enjoys watching me every single week. So yeah, it's not just Emma that gets the love physically from the fans. It's also me now. I'm also a thirst trap on the show. But for those of you wondering where our Instagram page is, I'll let Brenton fill you in on this because it's been a wild week as far as that's concerned. I don't know what the fuck we did, but as soon as we started,
I'll tell you what we did. I got really good at Photoshop apparently, and Instagram. They decided they were going to flag us, and we got shut the fuck down like a conspiracy theory podcast because they claim I tried to log in. I was going to post something. It said, you violated terms. I'm thinking, what terms? I click on the little thing. It says, you've been impersonating someone else and we're shutting you the fuck down. Click this link and you can appeal. I go to appeal. I get an automated email that basically says, go fuck yourself. You're never getting this account back. I don't know what we did. I was like, hey, can you tell me what post? Can you tell me what we were doing wrong? And I can't get a human. I can't get a human person.
Do you find it interesting that when we started to talk about Instagram and Twitter shutting down Trump's account and whether it was right or whether it was wrong, do you see any balance between that and what the fuck is going on right now? I mean, why would we, a sports and pop culture podcast, get flagged for impersonating who? Who are we impersonating?
And it's not like we're even cheating the system. We got 2 weeks out of like 19 right. We're not making anybody money and stealing from the house.
Oh, you think it's gambling related?
I don't know, but I lost so much money this year on this podcast.
It's insane.
It's crazy. So we're going through. I made another channel. I haven't really updated it because I'm still waiting. This isn't done. We're still fighting it. We're going.
I mean, what's the process now? Do we have to get a lawyer?
So no, your agency has a digital team that has a direct line to Facebook and Instagram, and so I've reached out to them and I've told them everything that's been going on, and I'm sure we're not priority, especially during a time of COVID, but hopefully in the next week or so, I'll hear something back and we'll know one way or another whether we get our account back or I got to start over. But
what the fuck?
I do.
But if we start over, why start over? We're just going to tell us what we did wrong.
Well, yeah.
What kind of process is this?
It's ridiculous.
They don't even cite the specific posts that were in violation of what their terms were or whatever it is.
No.
This is Nazi shit right here, dude. This is some bullshit, dude. I'm about to, I mean, who the fuck do they think they are? Who does Zuckerberg think he is? He's a kingmaker. He wants to be king.
Yep.
And you know what happens to King Zuckerberg? Go watch Game of Thrones. Watch the Red Mass episode or the Red Wedding or whatever it is. I didn't watch that episode, but you should watch it.
Wait, you didn't watch it?
No, I told you I only watched the last 2 seasons of Game of Thrones because I know storyless and I know narrative and I figured it out.
Right, that's insane. Yeah, but that episode's amazing.
Yeah, because everyone gets killed. So I'm not saying, again, this is not a threat in any way, shape, or form, but I want my fucking Instagram back. You got it, Mark?
But it was very nice. I had a lot of people reach out asking if we were still doing the podcast because at the same time we switched platforms and so the audio wasn't up. Like there was an error when it got pushed over and the new episode was locked or something, so it didn't actually come out until I think yesterday or the day before.
Really?
Yeah. So apologies to people that listen to us talk about how great the Bills were going to do, and then 2 days later they hear the episode. So
it goes with the sloppy theme. Yeah.
People thought the podcast was done, and it was nice to know that there are people listening. So we appreciate you. And on a positive, the final Patreon T-shirt finally arrived in Denmark. It was a hell of a time.
Casper got his
he got his T-shirt. It took like 4 months for it to ship. I said, look, I learned how to write addresses on envelopes in grade school.
Did you have to put in those 2 dots over his fucking name and stuff?
The way they're doing shit over there it was like reading a different language, because it literally was. And then I had to like Google, and I'm trying to figure out I'm trying to figure out the exact like location that he's at, and everything is different. It was literally like reading a Swedish chef recipe in his voice, trying to decipher if it was going to the right spot. I had
no,
no
we should have done.
idea.
We should have
Clearly, they didn't either. It took 4 months to get there.
We should have waited till the whole COVID thing was over, and then just showed up at his house, the three of us, and hand delivered to him. Here's your T-shirt. Let us help you try it on. We want to make sure it fits before we head back to the States.
Well, when we come out with hoodies, that's how we'll take him, his hoodie.
In 2028, when we have those hoodies, guys, we'll get them all to you, hand delivered. Just 7 more years left just in time for the Olympics, everyone. By the way, speaking of the Olympics, they're doing the Olympics this year. Do you know that?
Oh yeah.
I don't think they're going to have fans though.
No, put it in a bubble and let the athletes do athlete things. So it's going to be a little lame, but
So every athlete's probably going to have to get the shot before they go compete, right? I assume
they're going to have to get the shot. They're all going to be vaccinated. They're going to have to pass tests every day, I'm sure, and they're going to have to be spaced out, and they're going to have to wear masks all the time.
Spaced out, dude. It's going to be a fuck festival at that place. They were supposed to do this a year ago. Everyone's, emotions are all pent up. Everyone's vaccinated, so you're all good. No, like press around to kind of go, what's going on? It's going to be Sodom and Gomorrah. They're going to be they're going to be on top of each other, dude. There's no spacing out. Trust me.
Well, we'll know if there isn't, because there's going to be an outbreak if they don't.
It'll be done.
Keep their distance.
It'll be done.
I hope so. I hope you're right. I'm trying to get married again.
Yeah, 2028 is your big wedding now, right? That's what
I cannot. We have watched. Now we're going through the second cycle of every episode of Say Yes to the Dress. I cannot fucking do that another year. If we have to push the wedding again, let's do it.
Wait. She doesn't have a dress? She didn't buy her dress yet?
No. There's a show called Say Yes to the Dress.
And yeah.
Fucking loves it. And every episode is the same
goddamn. Oh, yeah. You want to put this chapter of your life behind you.
I'm doing that. I'm watching The Bachelor. It's just a lot.
Question: Does she have her dress? Does she ever go like, "Oh, I like that one better. I like that one better"? Is there wishy-washy? Okay.
No. She got it. She said she cried. She's so excited to wear it and show me it, and she's ready. But she'll do this thing now where she'll be watching. I'm not paying attention, but she'll go, "Hey, what do you think of that dress?" And she's just trying to see like, "Oh, maybe it's a little similar to hers. So how's he reacting?" And she's putting a lot of pressure on me, because every episode they show these people like seeing it for this, like the groom turning and seeing it for the first time. And these fucking guys, they cry. Every single one of them, they cry. And I don't,
because they're on TV, dude.
I know.
You don't have to cry. You will cry that day. You will cry.
I don't think I'm going to cry when I see
her.
You
will. It's a lot of emotions.
She has these expectations, and I'm going to let her down because of this fucking show and that asshole.
Think about it. If you're not crying because you're happy and emotional, just think about all the things you're losing that day as well. That'll make you cry. All the freedoms, all the hopes. Look, I know. Yeah, you're pretty much.
I was a fucking loser before I met her.
That's true. So you'll cry. You'll get emotional. I know she's going to be crying.
Sure, but not over a dress.
Yeah, but look, here's the deal. It's not about the day. Tell her that. Remind her that. Okay, look how awesome this has been, our life together in quarantine. I mean, first of all, I'm not even sure she's still alive. I believe that you've done something with her, because I haven't really seen her. I think I saw her walk across, but that could have been anyone. I mean, anyone. Look, you guys are doing well. Just, don't worry about this specific day, for God's sakes. Do you want to do?
For all you know, I'm a Jason Collier. I don't know if you heard about that. That's something that got sent to me about an hour before we hopped on.
Who's Jason Collier?
Let me pull this up. This guy, can you Google him, Lucas? Maybe there's something on the web now. But this guy, Jason Collier, he's a chief of police in, where is he? In Stinnett, the city of Stinnett, I guess. He, so his second girlfriend found out that he had a third girlfriend, and he's married to like 6 other women and has families with multiple women who he's married to. And then on top of that has like a dozen girlfriends, and he's living like 5th and 6th and 7th and 8th and 9th lives.
Whoa.
And he's been juggling it, and it finally leaked online because these women kind of figured out, oh, yeah, he's not on assignment in Portland. He's porking some other fucking person.
But it's not even affairs, really. They're like completely different relationships.
Yeah, totally different lives. This guy's living like a dozen lives.
Dude, he's got a lot of love to give. I mean, look, I would honestly think about this. Like, beyond the fact that, look, it is a betrayal of each one not knowing about the other, I would ask each family, are you happy? Are you happy? Are you happy? Are you happy? Great. Let's keep it going. Everyone go back to square one. Who gives a shit? I bet you some of those families that, they're like, look, I wish this thing never came out. I don't care. I like the setup we got. He comes, he goes, he's not around. My wife would love this. My wife would love this. A 3-day-a-week husband, she'd love it. She'd love it.
That's why she wants you back on the road.
On the road. Speaking of that, thank you to those of you who came out to St. Louis this past weekend. We had a great time. We did 4 great shows, socially distant. They were, pretty well attended, so it was good. It was fun. Felt like old stand-up again, which was lovely. But yeah, my wife I didn't book that weekend. She booked it. She called my agent. She goes, get him the fuck out of here. It's too much. He's around too much. By the way, as we're doing this, I'm on the background here is the golf. I'm watching golf down in Torrey Pines.
No, I've been watching it through the frame there.
Yeah. The frame.
This is the frame behind you, the picture. I can see the reflection.
Oh shit!
This is the most golf I've watched all year.
Well, no, they're in San Diego. It just got me thinking about a year ago on Valentine's Day weekend. The 3 of us were down in San Diego performing. We were supposed to be down there again this year.
I was down there like 3 years in a row with Court. We'd go the weekend of the
Farmers Open. Yeah, so it's there this weekend.
Play the Comedy Store down there.
I haven't really watched a lot today because I had a couple meetings this morning, but I know I picked Patrick Reed to do well, Leishman to do well. Who else do I have in my fantasy? I have our good friend Jeff Dennis's good friend Rob Oppenheimer. He's played well there before. I got him on my DraftKings. Xander Schauffele, a local boy to San Diego. I expect him to do well this weekend, and Rory as well. So.
I'm telling you should check out Stat Hero and just give it a try.
I will. I'll look at it. They're going to get rained out tomorrow. It's going to pour in Southern California. Today was the day they thought they would get, but it's going to rain like an hour, I think. But
it's looking sketchy out there.
But yeah, it was lovely today, and tomorrow it's going to be a wash. But they should get the rest of the weekend. And I love Torrey Pines. I played that course, the South course, once, and it's unbelievable. And it's like 2 miles from the Comedy Store, which is fucking sweet. So looking forward to that. But yeah, let's get into the Bachelor. Because I guess I mean, look, I don't know I don't know if they're like, look, we have no idea how this year is going to work, and let's just throw as many people on the show as possible because we're expecting some people to literally not only quit but probably die. It's I don't know, or it's like, look, we don't know, we don't have anything else to put on. ABC might be like a situation where it's like, we need to have this show, we need to have like 38 episodes of The Bachelor before May. So right now we only have like 20 girls left. We got to add like another 5 girls to keep this thing going for another 5 weeks or so. Like, that's my only thought process as to why you would add more.
And not just like the second episode, here's more. We're 4 weeks in.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's shifting from The Bachelor to Tinder, because it's like Tinder. There's no like 30 person. You don't get to like scroll through 30 people and then like, all right, that's enough for today.
Yeah.
Come back tomorrow. It's like, it's limitless. So just keep going till there's no people left.
No, this is like that shit they pulled in Miracle when Brooks brings in that kid that played for him in college, and they're like, we don't want this fucking guy here.
No, we don't want this new person. And look, I've been quite vocal about my hatred for Victoria and her, whatever her persona is as a queen, but it's the first time I'm like, oh, this is going to be great, because she's exactly what you need. She's the vocal person that says, fuck you, bitch. I mean, when that one first girl came in, she was like Miss Puerto Rico, or trying to be Miss Puerto Rico, comes in with the sash and the crown. Who the fuck takes a crown off somebody's like head? Like, if if
the best part of that was
if Conor McGregor, if
but she takes it and she sets it down. She doesn't give it back to her. She puts it down on the table. It's like, fuck you.
Yeah, if like Khabib came in with his belt and he's like, hey, now I'm on The Bachelor, right? I'd be like, great. I would never I'd be like, oh, I said I'm the toughest guy in the world, so let me take this belt off of you and put it on myself because you would be destroyed. Like to take someone like if I were that girl, I'd be like, hey, listen, I don't know who you are or what you think you are, but I worked. Whatever worked is, I starved myself and learned a couple answers to some questions to become Miss Puerto Rico, whatever it was. And this is my crown. Okay. I earned this. I didn't fucking, make something up and tell people that I'm royalty. So get the fuck away from me. But nobody's as crazy as Victoria. No one's going to do that.
And sidebar, her mugshot came out this week. Apparently she was arrested.
What?
Yeah.
For what?
And I don't know. Can you pull that up, Lucas? So her mugshot came out, but then I have bigger news about our friend Sarah, who left the show because of her father.
Oh, no.
Or so we thought. Turns out she was actually dating DJ Bijou before and after taping. So it had nothing to do with her dying father. She decided that she wasn't over this guy.
Wow.
And used her father as an excuse to leave the show to go back to this DJ.
By the way, if her dad is still alive, and I hope that he is, I truly do, he probably has seen that. And he saw his own daughter use his fading body, mortality, as an excuse to leave a television show that was embarrassing the family name to begin with, only to go
back to
run back to the arms of a DJ named Baju. If that man was alive, he is now dead. Do you understand me? This killed him. Honey, you killed him. You killed your dad. And it's unfortunate, but you've made a series of poor decisions that has led us to this point. Okay? You decided to date a DJ. You decided then to submit a tape to The Bachelor. You went on The Bachelor, passed out, and wasted everyone in America's time by having the episode go another fucking week. Then decided to leave because your dad was sick, which was only to be found out to be false because you ran back to the arms of DJ Baju. You killed your dad. And that's what it should say on the tombstone. The man's name, father-in-law to DJ Baju. That's why I'm here. Thank the DJ. Last night a DJ broke my heart. I don't know how that saved my life. This time, no, last night a DJ saved my life. This time a DJ killed my father. And that's what's going to happen.
Does it say why she was arrested?
Probably for faking, impersonating a police officer. She's impersonating royalty. I mean, what are the limits that this woman would not try to go to at this point? I just want to know the producer when that put the Ethiopian girl in a canoe and expected that to go well. What the fuck?
Yeah,
I mean, like,
you know what? I'll say this. It hasn't been a great season, but I laughed a lot at the episode.
Couple good laughs on this episode. Yeah. And the fighting, the boxing was great.
Yeah.
I don't know how they got to choose. Like, they were like, all right. I mean, I would have liked to seen some different people in there, but when he shut it down because girls were getting fucked up, I wonder if that was the producers being like, we're going to, like, all these girls are going to have broken noses and black eyes. Like, is this what America wants to look at for the next, 6 weeks? Black eyes and broken noses. So yeah, shut that fucking thing down. It was dumb.
All right. Shoplifting in Tallahassee.
Oh my
groceries
God.
Too. $250 worth.
Whoa.
You know what?
$50?
To her defense, Kate Middleton got caught shoplifting at a CVS one time too, right? Isn't that true?
Yeah,
I'm sure all royalty.
This says 25 items. You're trying to sneak 25 items, and you know, how big are they? If you're putting in $250 worth of groceries, those are like significant items.
Dude.
And she's what,
no queen does her own
19?
shit.
I mean, it's to think you can get away with how many items?
25.
Holy cow. This is all it reminds me of. Do you remember in this video when he's just Perry Farrell is just shoving everything under into the
yeah.
And Queen Victoria, when she wants some dinner, she didn't want to pay for it. She's a queen.
I gotta say though, one, I hope she wins. Two, I don't think any of us are going to have the girl at the end of this. I think that teacher from Minnesota came in, and that's the first time that he's actually closed his eyes when he's kissed.
Yeah,
and,
well, she basically she sexually assaulted him in the beginning.
Well, his tell at every bachelor has had their tell. His tell when he just isn't into what the girl's saying, he just says, "I love that."
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah,
and he wasn't talking like that with her.
Yeah,
so she's gonna win.
They also, another thing they did was, you think about it, they didn't just have 5 girls sitting there. They had probably 10 girls waiting, right? Yeah. But based on what he was doing and how he was feeling and the vibes he was putting out there, they were like, okay, they picked like the kind of girls they think, like they probably had like a blonde big tit girl back there, but they're like, no. He already
sent that girl home.
He's looking for mixture here, dark complexion, but not, there's a type that he's looking at here. And so we'll send him in, send him more. She came right in. She came to play. That girl's like, yeah, I came to fucking, I mean, I wish they would just say, I want to win. Like, I want to win this thing. Like, yes, of course, winning means I'm with him. And that will be whatever that is, the version of that. But like, I want to beat the rest of you bitches. That's really what I want to do. Kind of. And I know Victoria says that, but she's too stupid to know how to do it. Yeah. I mean, like, she honestly believes she's like, that's the problem. Is that these producers are keeping her around. I mean, I wish he would be like, when he handed her the rose, like, Victoria, and then look at the camera and be like, because that's what he wants. Like, this is not my choice here. And so, yeah, she has no idea why she's being kept around. She thinks it's because of her, personality.
It's her wonderful personality, and everyone loves her.
Dude, Anna's got a serious.
I love the way she talks to people, though.
Who, Victoria or Anna?
Either, but Anna with the teeth.
Anna,
she's got to cool it with the teeth. But Victoria with just the look. I'm not going to insult you, but here's the worst possible thing I could say to you right now. I fucking love she's like a Jedi that doesn't know how to swing her lightsaber. It's amazing.
Dude, Anna to me has that crazy face where where you're like, I'm going to say something. I think it's like, I'm just going to throw this out there. And like, they always say, like, I don't really have an opinion either way, but oh my God. Like, and she oozes controversy and like, she cannot physically contain her emotions. Like, she is very like, her face reads it all even when she's like awkward and like if she's on a one-on-one talking to him and she says something she thinks that he doesn't like, she'll get all like crazy. Instead of just being normal, she gets all fucking waxy and figurine.
No poker face.
None whatsoever. And then to say that a girl is a prostitute, it's like, I heard from so-and-so that you're who the fuck are you? Have we met? Have we met each other?
The balls, though.
Unbelievable.
To say that to a stranger in front of other people who are basically strangers.
Yeah, and just the kind of passive
on
aggressive,
national television.
I don't know, but like maybe she fucks guys for money. Like that kind of like, I don't know.
That literally is the shit. Like this poor girl. Maybe it will come out that she is a prostitute. I don't think she is, but. Her employer is going to see this. Her friends are going to see this. Her family's going to see this. All of her relationships, people in the future will see this. You can't Google her now without that being the first thing that gets the first headline. Is she a prostitute? That's her life now.
Yeah. I mean, of course, people are going to research it. They want to know.
Yeah.
They want to know, is that girl a prostitute? And by the way, if she is, good for her. So be it.
Yeah.
Guess what? This is the this is the Super Bowl for prostitutes. Somebody's going to get a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
And
you don't even need to
there's
win.
way less fucking.
Finish top 3. You're going to get 1 million followers on Instagram.
Yeah.
Plug in your promo codes.
You got a 6-figure income for the next 10 to 15 years if you play your cards right. Okay.
Absolutely.
Hello. This is the Super Bowl for prostitutes. Way less fucking too. And you get to fuck a decent looking guy. You're not giving a hand job to some fatty.
Yeah.
You know? Look, I had some other notes on it. I mean, the Ethiopian girl, the boxing, the canoe, Anna, prostitution. Yeah, that's kind of what I had. I mean, look, they didn't even fuck it. I mean, the rose ceremony, they put it in the middle. Thank God. I'm like, is this going to be the only one? Because it was like 40 minutes after that. I was like, what the fuck's going on here? I'm like, give me the rose ceremony at the end. And that way, I want to see disappointing faces and people bitching in limos on the way out the door. What's happening with all these activities and the lead-in?
Yeah.
We don't need a lead up. We don't need drama going into next week. Guess what? We're already hooked, okay? We want to know who wins this fucking thing. We're coming back next week. You don't have to tee it up every single goddamn time. Give me a rose ceremony, give me a disappointed bitch, and give me the credits. And give me my time back, please. Conor McGregor got knocked out. Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, is it really that surprising? He hadn't been fighting for a few years. He switched to boxing and then tried to jump back into it. I know he was an elite fighter for a while, but fighters got to fight. Just like I'm sure when you got back on stage for the first time, you weren't as good as you were when you had been doing it every night for however many years.
Yeah.
I got to imagine it's the same thing with fighting. He retires. He goes into boxing for a little bit. He wasn't doing his thing, and it showed. He got embarrassed.
Look, it's never surprising. I mean, anyone can get knocked out. These fucking guys are all elite athletes throwing haymakers. Shit happens. But I thought coming into it, I felt like, I mean, he looked prepared. He looked, he had a different, it wasn't like, it wasn't the trash talking. He had a respect for Poirier. It seemed like he wasn't like, I'm better than this fucking guy. This is going to be a walk in the park. It seemed like he was like, hey, this guy, I beat him before, but he's way better than he was then. I'm way better than I was then. I know I'm going to beat him, but I know I have to take him seriously. There seemed to be a level of respect. And I thought, okay, he's really, he's not going to be flippant about this whole thing. And so I didn't get a chance to watch it because I was working, but and I'll watch it this weekend. But from the highlights I saw, it just looked like he got just pummeled. He just got beat up in the middle of it, and whether that was ring rust or poor. I mean, the game management of not being able. I know he got his fucking right leg blasted about 1,000 times in the first 2 rounds. So much so because I don't know if you ever watched McGregor. He's got that wide stance. He's almost like a fucking leprechaun. Like you'd say, like a leprechaun boxing. Like he's out here and he's coming from all different angles. He's always moving, so everything's wide. But that front foot is out there. So fucking Poirier just kept blasting that front calf. And if you can't bounce around, because I mean, it was like double the size by the end of the first round, and he broke it. He literally kicked it so much it's broken. Like McGregor's got it like an air cast or whatever now, but that literally just did so much damage. He couldn't move around the way he wanted to, and he got caught. So it was a great game plan by Poirier, and they apparently want to run it back. Both of them. Khabib's not going to come out of retirement. He believes, and probably rightfully so. Yeah, he's infinitely better than both these guys.
His dad was his trainer. His dad passed away, and his little brother's a fighter now, and he's coaching him. So he's not going to come out of retirement and go back into it without the people behind him that were always behind him.
I just think that basically right now it's like why come out? There's really no one that is on his, and he's right. There's no one on his level. He said it. So until someone emerges as like a guy, it's like, oh fuck, I wish Khabib was still around to fight this guy. I think if that did happen, he's a fighter. He would probably come out of retirement if he felt like there was someone out there worthy enough, and that he, you know. Now that being said, if one of these guys, oh please, dude. He's fighting. Well, now we got Ben Askren fighting one guy. I don't know which Paul. These two, I get him confused. One's fighting Mayweather, and one's fighting Ben Askren, who is a former UFC fighter who got knocked out by Masvidal. By the way, Logan Paul Masvidal is the one I'd like to see, because Masvidal he's like Kimbo Slice. He came from that. I think that Miami, like Kimbo Slice basically found this guy because he was like doing that whole, you want to fight, put up $5,000 and meet me in my backyard or your backyard and we'll fucking bare knuckles. And that's literally what they do. And the winner takes the money, like Kimbo Slice. So Masvidal's from that world. Now, that's not boxing per se, but there's no going down and wrestling and kicking or that shit. It's just throwing hands. So look, I believe that, you know, Logan Paul's taking, you know, he's being trained now and he's taking boxing, you know, he's becoming a boxer, but he's no different than Masvidal was growing up on the streets fighting people. And if Masvidal put his head down and trained at boxing for 6 months, he'd beat the fuck out of either one of those two, probably the same time. So, you know, there are these fucking fights out there to see. But getting back to my point about, I think one of these middleweights or one of these guys in the 155 is going to have to just win 5-6 in a row, beat almost everybody, and then go, oh shit, now I'm waiting for someone, and then maybe Khabib comes out. But you know, there's 4 or 5, 6 guys that are really, really good. There's just one guy, unfortunately, that's the greater than all of them, and he's retired. So, but yeah, I guess I'll watch it when it comes out this weekend, I think. By the way, also the Hall of Fame is not putting any members in this year. The Major League Baseball Hall of Fame writers didn't vote. I think you need 75% of the, I don't know what the number is, but some 75 or some number like that of on the ballots of the writers, and no one got it this year. Curt Schilling fell a couple short, and you know, people say it's because of his political views. I don't know if you guys have been following that at all. He's a big Trump guy, big, you know, doesn't matter about the protests and the riots in the Capitol. He supported all that shit. So, I mean, look, I don't know if there's I think there's an argument to be made about him being a Hall of Famer to begin with. I thought there was some speculation as to him using performance enhancing stuff. I thought there was a little bit of that in there. He didn't have the greatest regular season record of, you know, he's not a shoo-in Hall of Famer based on his regular season record. He's 14-2 in the playoffs, and that's pretty insane. He's one of the best playoff pitchers of all time. He's a gutsy pitcher. So, yeah, is he on the cusp? Yes, he is a guy that is on the cusp of getting into the Hall of Fame. He's probably, he in no way, shape, or form, in my mind, was a absolute first ballot, get in the Hall of Fame. This guy is in the Hall of Fame. He's a borderline Hall of Famer for whatever reason. Because he wasn't great in the regular season, because, you know, he only pitched for, you know, whatever the reason is. However that's how I think his career went. Now, when you add the fact that he is very vocal about his opinions about things, well, guess what? That's going to sway people left or right. That's going to do that. Okay? That's going, and your what people feel about you, right or wrong, is going to weigh in on their decision. It's always happened. People are complaining about Curt Schilling. Do you know Hank Aaron wasn't a first ballot Hall of Famer? Mm-hmm. Hank fucking Aaron. If you took away all of Hank Aaron's home runs, every fucking one of them, 755, whatever the number is, if you took them all away, he'd still be in the Hall of Fame. He'd still have over 3,000 hits. He'd still have close to 2,000 RBIs. There was no argument about Hank Aaron getting into the Hall of Fame. If Hank Aaron came out and said, I am a white supremacist, I hate black people, I loathe them, Ty Cobb is my hero, he would still get into the Hall of Fame. Still. But because he was black, people didn't vote for him. Based on that alone. Not a first ballot Hall of Famer. Not getting in. He knew it. Everybody knew it. So now for people to cry racism and whatever it is, or people have for years, right or wrong. Now, granted, you want to get rid of the people that didn't vote Hank Aaron in because he was black? Find them and have them and have them explain themselves. I don't care. Kick them out if they say if they say they're racist or admit to it. But don't turn around now and say, oh, okay, well, he's vocal, dude. He's vocal about his opinion. And it has its effect on people one way or the other. It's not right or it doesn't make it right. But it doesn't make it shocking to me. You know who could talk shit? First ballot Hall of Famers. Okay? If Derek Jeter said, I support Donald Trump, I support him and his policies, guess what? He's still getting into the goddamn Hall of Fame on the first ballot. He still is. You know why? Because he's not a borderline Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Famer. Curt Schilling is a borderline Hall of Famer. And because he opened up his mouth.
Who also may have cheated. And I think that has some weight
and also may have cheated. Yeah, and let me tell you something. It's not like you had a pristine person with unbelievable credentials, and now you got to try to find a reason. I don't like his political views, so I got to try to find something now. There's some stuff to find.
Yeah.
He didn't win 300 games. That's not a lock. He didn't throw 3,000 strikeouts. So, I mean, these are what are considered the numbers to be a lock Hall of Famer. So if you're going to go about and look, again, it works both ways. You know, if you want to be a big time liberal and be a big time spouting free, whatever it is, and people take then that's what's going to happen. But you can't spout what I consider hatred and lies and expect people just to fucking lap it up, eat it up. Because why? Because you think you're entitled to something? The whole fucking thing's a joke. Pete Rose isn't in the Hall of Fame. It's all arbitrary. They should make these guys come up and have to fucking stand up and say yes, no, or these are the people I'm voting for and these are the reasons why. Well, who gives a shit? What do we need? Anonymity for the Hall of Fame voters? Oh, what could happen to the Hall of Fame voters? Oh, no. They might get bad Twitter comments? Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, none of them give a shit.
If the guys had said, hey, I didn't vote for Curt Schilling because A, I don't think he's a Hall of Famer, and B, okay, he doesn't keep I don't think he has the credentials and I don't like what he says. I'm not voting for him. I respect that. I do. Say it. And then at least we all know. And if you want to change the rules and you want to make it like a thing where it's just, based on numbers alone, straight numbers, which, again, you're talking about arbitrary things now. You're talking about next year you're going to have Bonds and Clemens and a couple guys falling off where that's their last year. And if they don't get in, they're not going to, so it's like these are people that belong in the Hall of Fame. What are we going to do? Don't complain to me about fucking Curt Schilling. Curt Schilling can go fuck himself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And that's the way it is. That's my opinion on that.
Hell yeah.
And I'm not saying he's wrong for his opinions. Have your opinions, but just know that there's consequences of them. You can't just say whatever you want and just expect people to go, okay, well, whatever.
Yeah, that's the big issue that I think people in our country don't grasp is.
Except if you're me, by the way.
We have freedom of speech, but we also have consequences to that speech.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. That's how it works.
You can say whatever the fuck you want, but you also can't just say whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah. And you can, I'm not saying you can't make mistakes. If you say something that's in poor taste or stupid and you go, fuck, you know what, dude? In second thought or hindsight, I fucked up you can make mistakes. But if you want to be a loudmouth and stick to your opinions and go and fucking rub people's noses in it, well, guess what? It's going to come back on you.
Yeah.
Especially it's going to have consequences.
In the age of screenshots and cell phone videos, everything comes back.
Yes. And again, you're not my
We're
main
all
thing is
being
it's
recorded.
baseball
We're
related.
being recorded right now.
We are. I'm recording this, guys. This will be, people will hear this. Everything we said on this thing. They will hear it. They may not listen, but they could if they want to.
Very easy to find.
All right. That's the I think that's it for this week, right? I don't know. Do you have anything else you'd like to add? I'm not sure. Did we miss anything? I had all my notes, but
I mean, I have the odds of all the teams Deshaun Watson could go to.
all right.
I'll share that real quick here. Some of them seem really like easy money to make.
Yeah.
One of them is the Indianapolis Colts, who I know they won't trade him in the division.
No.
Did they say they won't trade him in the division? Have they made that clear or no? I mean, I know it's like not really heard of, but
Yeah,
the Yankees and the Red Sox made a trade this week, so you never know.
this is true.
Adam Schefter made a comment that he thinks that it's going to be at least 18 teams are going to have a new quarterback starting for him next year. And he said he would take the over on that, which seems high, but I mean, there's going to be a huge shakeup. It's probably going to be the Jets. He wants to go to the Jets. The Jets have the kind of capital that they could trade for him. And I really hope it is the Jets, because I think he wouldn't do as well there as he would in Miami. Miami is set up perfectly to instantly be a Super Bowl contender if he goes there.
If the Jets are the team, obviously they're going to have to give up their second round pick this year, I assume, to get.
They're going to have to give up a couple of first round picks.
Yeah. I mean,
they'll have to give a lot, but he's worth it.
What weapons, though, are you handing him to work with, though? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if we kept, there's no way I know, but like, if you kept your second pick and you can get Devonta Smith, it's like at least now you've got a wide receiver. So you're handing him something. You know, I think right now he's sort of making a kind of a lateral move to a not great situation. It's a new situation. It's different with a new ownership who's really excited to have him there and like wants him to be, the integral part of the team, build it around him. But he knows, again, he's not going to be able to. Who's he throwing the ball to?
He knows,
who's excited to throw the ball to?
He knows he's not going to win right away there, but he's going to have a better career. He's going to be more famous. He's going to get more ad work. He's going to be in all the commercials. He'll be a celebrity.
You got to trust. You have to.
He wants
if I'm
that
him,
Patrick Mahomes level of fame because he has almost that amount of talent.
Then you're going to need a GM as good as Andy Reid, who's as good at finding second, third, and fourth round talent as anybody else out there. Okay? You don't need the fucking guy who can go out and find the first round pick. Any one of us can sit there and find 32 guys and kind of put them in order. And one of us is good. We'll all probably get a pretty good, but it's the second, third, and fourth round guys that you now, because you don't have a first round pick, are going to have not only make the most of, but they're going to have to all be winners. You can't shoot 50% in your later rounds. You got to have to go 80% from the floor at guys who add to your team. Maybe not starters, maybe not, all pros, but guys who are, on the team every, start. Yeah, you need a starter. You need starters out of those positions because you're not going to get them in the first round. You don't have any first round picks. So he's going to have to believe in whatever GM he goes to, because that guy's going to have to build a team out of not a lot. Now, again, if he goes to Indianapolis, which that's a ready-made situation.
Chicago would be interesting.
Chicago would be great.
Especially
you have Allen Robinson to throw to.
Well, he's a free agent, so we don't know if they're going to have Allen Robinson. But if they get Deshaun Watson, I'm sure Robinson would want to sign on.
Of course.
With that
49ers are the dark horse, though.
Yeah, 49ers are another really good fit where he could win right away.
Yeah. And
then they ship Garoppolo out to New England.
Yeah.
And then there's that.
But for the love of God, anywhere but Miami. Because if he goes to Miami, that bails Miami out of that terrible Tua pick.
By the way, it's going to. I honestly think you better hope that the Jets
There was a CBS article that came out. Let me see if I can find this. About
he wants to go to Miami. That's where he wants to go.
Oh, where is this fucking thing?
Now, unless the Jets go, go head over heels. He's going to Miami.
Listening to Houston Talk Radio, Seth Payne said that if they trade Deshaun Watson, they will be as bad as they were when they were an expansion team.
Yeah, they will be. He's a generational talent. He's a top 3 quarterback he was top 3 this year without having anyone to play with on either side of the ball and no coach. He literally had nothing and he still looked like a Pro Bowler. But CBS Sports reported this past week that Dolphins players not confident in Tua Tagovailoa's quarterbacking abilities per report. So he's already lost the team in the locker room. There's no hope there. So if they don't get Deshaun Watson, they have to spend that draft pick on another quarterback. And if they don't get another quarterback and they just have Tua, that is going to be a long fucking year for the Dolphins.
Well, it's good for you.
Great for me.
Great for you.
And I kind of hope Fitzpatrick leaves and goes to the Rams, who now are in the same boat with Jared Goff. There's reports that they're not happy with him. And
yeah, I mean, it's going to be a quarterback. I mean, Stafford wants out. You got him in play.
That's already done. He's going.
No, I know, but you got Carson Wentz. Who knows where that? I mean, you got a new coach there now, but it's like if they're not on the same page, it's there will be quarterbacks that are going to be moving around.
A lot of them.
And, teams that need them. I don't think any of these guys after Trevor Lawrence I don't think Mac Jones is someone that you go, okay, I'm going to build my team around Mac Jones for the next, right?
Not with that high of a draft pick.
Yeah, because it's like, if you're Houston, right, and you give away Deshaun Watson, you're not getting the number 1 pick. You're not getting Lawrence. So it's like, do you believe in any of these other quarterbacks, or are you going to go, we're going to wait. We're going to take the best available player we possibly have, and we're going to go sign fucking, I don't know, what's his name? The quarterback for the Bears right now, whoever what's his
Mitch Trubisky.
Mitch Trubisky, yeah. or someone like that. It's like, and we live with him for a year or two till we get that guy coming out that we go, that's our Deshaun Watson, and we start over again. Because he's not there this year, not unless you're Jacksonville. I'm not saying Trevor Lawrence is Deshaun Watson, but if you have, I think out of obviously everyone, he's got pretty good generational talent. Yes. I think he's going to be a real, like Joe Burrow's, a really good pedigree, a really good starting NFL quarterback. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see. I think he goes to Miami though, Watson, unless the Jets throw everything at him. But if they do, if you're Watson, you got to go, oh, fuck. I hope they know what they're doing because I don't know who I'm going to throw the ball to.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think he's going to Miami, but I really hope it doesn't happen.
But who knows? Maybe the Jets are going to do what the Mets did. The Mets are going, throw everything. They made a tremendous offer to Trevor Bauer. If they sign Trevor Bauer, and they probably will, because I bet you their offer is bigger than every other team out there. If the Mets sign Trevor Bauer, think about it. You got DeGrom, Bauer, Syndergaard as a starting 3, top of the rotation. Lindor, McNeil, Alonso. I mean, that's a formidable lineup. Betances and the bullpen. It's like they're making moves. They're going, we're going to try to get a fucking winning team right now. And I applaud them for doing that. I think the Jets, Woody Johnson, now that he's back from England,
this is the time to do it. There's 3 teams in Major League Baseball actually spending money right now, and they're one of them. So the teams that are being aggressive are the ones that are going to be, paying all that back the next 5 years.
Do you think Jets, do you want Woody Johnson around if you're a Jets fan, or are you hoping Biden makes him, ambassador to fucking Guam or somewhere else this time? Do you want him out of there?
Fuck out of here.
The only thing is when he's around, he makes these splashy moves. He goes and gets, who's Brett Favre. You got Brett Favre. You got, who's the other, you got Darrelle Reeves. There's a couple big moves he made. That when he's around, he just goes after, he sees a flashy name and he goes after it. So we'll see what happens. I think that, we got a lot of time. There's a lot of quarterbacks going to be moved around. All right. That's it. Who the fuck knows, guys? Who knows? But this was a good one, I think. Let's hope we don't get shadow banned or removed from some sort of social media platform, YouTube or whatever. Because then we're just doing this for ourselves. And that's crazy because I could just call you guys.
We are who we say we are, Instagram.
And we'll always be that. We're not changing. We don't even know how to change. So if we do it again, Instagram, can you just let us know what we did wrong? Because we can't, There's only so many fucking different names we can come up with for this. Well, we're just gonna keep creating different names and doing the same shit. So it's gonna turn into a cycle. I'll be doing.
But if people want to follow it, it's What's the Odds Pod.
Is that it now? It's live.
Yeah. Well, I haven't put anything up there, but that's it.
All right.
I'm waiting. I'm hoping. I'm optimistic.
Well, we got to figure something out. The Super Bowl's coming next week. It's like,
I've also, yeah, I'll get it up before the weekend if I don't hear anything. But it's been a rough week. I've been in sweatpants the entire week, Steve.
It's okay, dude.
First time since quarantine, and I haven't changed them. They're the same filthy sweatpants that they were when the Bills lost.
Hey, man. People grieve differently. Everyone has their own process, You want to be a shit pig and live in filth, that's your process, and you go through it however you need to. I'm glad we're doing this on Zoom and not in person. I love you guys. The sun will come out tomorrow. We'll all be better. We'll be better versions of ourselves. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for our fans. I'm grateful for this podcast. See? I'm giving gratitude at the end. I'm trying to end on a positive note. Rest in peace, Hank Aaron. Rest in peace, Cloris Leachman. Another very funny, beautiful lady. And hello, Casper. I hope you got your fucking t-shirt, and take a picture and send it to us, because we'll repost it on whatever fucking platform we're allowed to. That's the podcast. Thanks a lot for listening. We'll see you guys next week.